Hey guys, Neon here. So today I'm going to be making an updated any percent in all keys advanced strats tutorial. The first thing I want to mention is Zenthro has a fantastic beginner's guide to learning this game on his YouTube channel. I will have it linked in the description. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, definitely go watch that video. It covers a lot of the tricks that you guys will need to learn for the advanced strats. So for example, cane jumping, super jumping, slope jumping, all that good stuff. Definitely learn how to do those tricks well before you start watching this video, because this video is going to be only the updated advanced strats. So if you guys have trouble doing any of the beginner strats, the advanced strats are going to be a little bit tougher for you guys. So make sure you're ready for this. Right, so this first trick is here in Paris. First of all, I'm going to show you guys how this is done in a normal run without the advanced strat. So normally you would just jump on this antenna, jump over here, ledge grab, and then just hop around and fall down. So that's the normal way we do this. But the advanced way is a little trickier, but it does save a little time. So we can do this entire thing ledge grabless. This antenna is on a cycle, and it's actually on the correct cycle to get a ledge grabless Paris. So the way this cycle works on this antenna is, as you can see, it's swaying back and forth, right? So the idea behind this trick is you want to jump on the antenna when it's at its farthest to the left, so it'll be closest to this corner, so you can jump to it, right? So every time you load the game here, this antenna will be on the ideal cycle you need it to be to get ledge grabless without stopping. So if you just run right over here from the very beginning, the antenna should be about right here at the time you land on it. So it should give you enough height to get up there. So what it would look like is, obviously you just want to wait for the cycle. And as soon as you see Sly get closest to the corner, you can do the ledge grabless. So every time you load here, like I said, the antenna will be on its ideal cycle. It will always be to the farthest point left to give you the optimal distance. And you just kind of jump around the edge of the roof the same way you would normally. And that's about it. That's ledge grabless Paris. This is completely based on the cycle, and as long as you're fast enough, you should always have enough distance and height to get ledge grabless. Right, so the next trick takes place right here at the last 4 water wheels in a stealthy approach. This trick is kind of precise, but once you get it down, it's about as easy as ledge grabless Paris, if not easier. So basically what you want to do is, normally you'd wait for the last cycle, but you can actually skip it by jumping here and then jumping across. There's nothing too difficult to really explain about this trick. All you really want to do is you want to try to land on the water wheel around about right here. You see where that little bush, well, I can show you guys. So this bush right here is what I use for a visual cue. If you're in line with this bush or just a little bit off, you can usually make it to that water wheel sticking out right there. So there's really 3 steps to keep in mind about this trick. The first step is obviously running against the wall, like I'm doing right now. The second step is single jumping towards the bush. And then the third step is holding directly to the right and double jumping, extending your double jump so you can make it all the way to this. So like I said, just wait for this wall, run against it, single jump, and then double jump over it, and you should get it every time. If you're just a little short, you will hit a death barrier. So you want to be just far enough over to the right to make this double jump. It really isn't that precise. Like I said, if you just do the 3 steps, you should get it every time. Just run against this wall, and as soon as the wall ends, you just single jump towards the bush, hold right and double jump over it, and you should get it every time. Easy peasy. So let's move on. Right, so the next trick we're going to do is in the level High Class Heist. Obviously there's no skips or any advanced tricks really in Into the Machine. There's some small optimizations you can do, but they're really not advanced, so we're going to skip over that and go right into High Class Heist. This trick really isn't that scary. It is difficult, but once you get it down, like I said, it shouldn't be too big of a reset point for you. So the first thing you want to do here is, as soon as you enter the level, the cycle starts on the guards that you're going to use to do this proxy. This trick is known as Bellybump Jump. It is a guard proxy. It's the second guard proxy in the game if you count the Bentley skip. If you count the turret as a guard. So normally what you do is you load in and you just start running. So kind of just cut corners here like you normally would, you know. You don't have to jump over these lasers. You can make it under them without jumping. Obviously I triggered one there, but it's not a big deal. You can always make it without jumping. So just break the alarm and head down here to the left. You want to bait out that so you don't hit it. But I did, so I'm just going to avoid it. So right here is when you're going to want to run down. You're going to jump and attack this first guard. Avoid his attack. Break the sign, and here we are. So I know that was a little fast. So what I did is I ran down the right side. I killed the first guard. Avoided his attack. Broke the sign right there to avoid me dying and getting like killed by fire when I get launched. So this guard is the guard we're going to use for this trick. We want him to be in a pretty specific area. There's a few areas you can do this trick from. I will try to explain this as best I can. Like I said, this trick is going to be all you. This is going to be totally up to you to practice. A setup can really only get you so far here. So just messing around with this trick is definitely the best way. What I recommend you doing if you've never attempted this before is to literally just play with this guard. Just mess around with it and just get random proxies. Just mess around with the timing just to test out your ability to actually get a proxy off this guard, because this trick is very unique. So just practice around, figure out the timing to jump into the guard. So basically right here, when he puts his arms down to go into his jump phase, that is the time you want to jump. So you can either do this in a single jump or a double jump. It's completely up to you. It's completely based on preference. I like to double jump. I know Zen likes to single jump, but when he's about to go into his jump attack, that is you want to basically jump off the ground as soon as this guard jumps off the ground, kind of simultaneously. So right now I'm going to resume the game and I'm going to instantly jump into him. As you can see, I got a launch there. So like I said, just practice getting a launch, and when you have the launch down, then you can practice getting the angle for the guard. So the idea here is you want to either launch yourself directly up to that key, or you can, the safer way, the way I like to do it, is to launch yourself over to where that alarm is to the right. You can actually get a more consistent launch over that direction, just the way the angles work. And also there's some blue ores over there, so if you do miss, you can spam circle and Sly will usually attach himself to those blue auras. So normally what you want to do here is, I'm going to try to take this as slow as possible to explain this. But what you normally want to do here is you'd want to come down here like normal and avoid this guy's attack, right? Break the thing. And then I like to stand right about here and get this guard to be in this position. It's not precise. You can get this guard as long as he's kind of in the middle of these two torches, the no trespassing signs. You're usually good to go. And I like to position myself pretty much exactly where I am right now. I like this setup the most out of any of the setups. So you want to be about, I don't know, maybe a foot or two away from the guard. About a Sly's character width away. Usually works the best. So right here is about good. Like I said, it's not too precise. The only real precise part about this is the angle and the timing that you jump at. So you'll notice when I resume the game here, the guard will turn and face me. And what he does, so this is pretty much where you want to start your timing. So you can see these two little yellow dots that hold up his pants or his trousers. You want to aim for the one on the right. I train my eyes to look at that. So you want to aim for right about here on the guard. The way the guard works, he's kind of like a triangle. in his front, like a pyramid. So if you aim to the right side of him, you'll get a right launch, and if you hit his left side, you'll get a left launch. So I'll show you what it looks like in both scenarios. I use those little yellow buttons on his trousers as like kind of a guide to where to aim at his body to jump into. So I'm gonna resume the game here, and then I'm gonna jump into that right yellow dot on his left, my right. So this is what it should look like. Right there, I got the right launch, but I didn't get enough distance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset the guard. So he's back in the right spot. He's turning and facing me. And now I'm going to aim for the same spot, and I'm going to double jump into him. I'm 2 feet away. I'm 1 sly width away. So this is about the correct setup that I'd be ideal here. So I'm going to resume the game. And I got another right launch, but again, I didn't get enough distance. So I'm going to actually not pause the game here, because pausing the game actually gives me a bad timing. So I'm going to do this normally. So right there, I pulled back. Obviously, I would have made that if I didn't pull back. So let me get the guard and back in his correct place. So now I'm going to aim at his left side. So as you can see, I got a left launch there because I aimed at his left trouser, or his right, my left. So let me get him back into the spot again. So right here is where I like to be, right? So here's a good spot. So that was a left launch. Now I'm going to do that right launch again. Like I said, I'm going to double jump into his right, into his left, my right button. This button right there. So here we go. I'm going to resume the game, and I'm going to double jump into that. So I got another right launch there. That would have been good if I had the right angle. So like I said, you're just going to have to play around with this and just mess around until you get the angle that you want here. Like I said, this is the way I like to do it. I know Zen has another setup that I will show you guys. You can do this with a single jump or a double jump. I think the double jump is more consistent. Others might disagree, but I like to do this. This is just the way I've always done it. But yeah, so that's my setup. Like I said, just get the guard to be in this general area. It doesn't have to be exact. Just be about a foot away, and then just double jump into his right button on his trousers, and almost every time you will make it. And like I said, this is the reason this is more consistent to land over here is because of these auras. If you're up ahead, you can actually hold circle, and Sly will actually land right here almost every time, and then from there you can just jump over, come up, and break the key. So the setup that I was doing originally was about the same. I would get this guard to be in the same spot, and you can actually single jump it, and if you do it right, you can actually get a double jump to extend your distance. So your first jump is the proxy, and then you have another jump to actually kind of change your angle midair to either go left, right, gain some distance, lose momentum, whatever you need to do. That second double jump is actually going to help you a lot. So like I said, you can do this with a double jump or a single jump. It doesn't matter. Whatever one works best for you. I like to use the double jump, but like I said, single jumping works too. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys Zenthro's setup. So Zenthro does a very similar thing to what I do here, except Zen likes to single jump and get sent directly to the key. It's a little tougher, but with enough practice, it's very consistent. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the same thing, jump, attack this guard, jump around and avoid him, break the torch, get this guard to the center, and I'm going to position myself like this, single jump into him. Obviously I missed, so I'm going to put him back, try it again. Almost. Didn't get any distance there, which tells me that the timing was off. So we'll get him back to the spot. And just like that, you can get sent directly to the key. So another thing I want to mention here is kind of how the angles work with the guard. So if you jump into the right side of the guard, you'll get sent to the right. If you jump onto the left side of the guard, you'll get sent to the left. So I like to kind of aim this guard kind of half and half, right? Because I use the right side of the guard to get launched. So I want the right side of the guard to be pointing in the direction I want to go. And then what I do from here is I jump into the right side of the guard, and then the proxy will send me in the direction the guard is facing, so long as I aimed on the right side. So right here, I'm going to aim to the right side of the guard, I'm going to double jump into him, and it'll send me in that direction. just like that. So you can also do it on the left side of the guard too. I never really practiced the left side. I'm just more used to doing it on the right. But it's the same kind of thing on the left. You can do it from the left side just as easily. It's all about preference there. But just make sure you're aiming to the right or the left side of the guard. Do not aim in the center or you will not get a launch. So just kind of think of it as a triangle per se if you want. If you aim to the right side of the guard, you'll go to the right. If you aim to the left side, you go to the left. But just practice this, and eventually you'll get it down. But hopefully that helps you out. I know this is a relatively new trick. Not a lot has been found in addition to this yet, but we do have some setups. So if you guys want, mess around and try to find a setup that works for you. Whatever works for you works for me. So figure out a setup, and you should be good to go. Right, so the next trick is here in Fire Down Below. This is the next level you do after High Class Heist. And this is just a minor optimization. You don't have to do this, but it does save a few seconds. So it is worth implementing. There's a few ways to do this, so I will show both of them. So what you want to do is you just come along here like normal. Close these two signs. And right here is where the start of the trick is. So normally there would be a cutscene right ahead of me. And the normal strat to avoid this cutscene would be to jump out here. And when you're here, you can do one of three things. The standard thing you can do in this situation is just run up here, ledge grab this, and then jump over like normal. So another way you can do this is if you run and jump on this wheel and then double jump and mash circle, you can actually jump up here with the hook. Saves a little bit of time. So this is the last way to do this. This is the way I like to do it. It's a little more advanced, but it looks really cool. So if you jump over here, double jump to this little outcrop on the pipe and then land on this pipe, you can actually single jump these and make it across a little bit faster as well. Alright, so the next trick in the run is a very big one. This is a very advanced trick. This was only implemented recently. It's been known about for a long time, but it's in the level A Cunning Disguise. It's the next one after you do Fire Down Below. So it's another proxy. It's very precise. So what you normally want to do is you want to come out here, kill this guard, and you're going to want to jump over to this bookshelf. So when you're on this bookshelf, this is exactly where you want to be. So there's a few setups that you want to do to actually improve your chances of getting this trick first try. The first is to single jump, and after Sly's already in the air, tap to the right on the D-pad just a little bit to make sure Sly's on the wall. So if you land like this, Sly is not against the wall, so you want to jump and move him to the right just a little bit. You can't move your analog stick because Sly just won't get into the wall. You actually have to jump and move to the right. So once you jump and move Sly as close to the wall as you can get him, facing forward, what you want to do is you want to hold up on the D-pad. So run into this wall. And when you're running into this wall, what you want to do is you want to single jump and then let go of up on the D-pad. So this is what it'll look like. And Sly should ledge grab this bookshelf behind him. So that's the first part. So you want to jump, move Sly against the wall, and hold up on the D-pad. Single jump, let go. And that's the ideal setup. So now what you want to do is you actually want to trigger the proxy. So triggering the proxy requires near frame perfect timing. It's definitely not frame perfect, but it's close. So you're going to have to practice the timing a lot here. The last two inputs you'll need are square and X. So when you're in the air up here, you're going to want to swing your cane. So practice doing that. Jump, get slide to the wall, hold up on the D-pad, jump, let go, hit square, and that's almost the full setup done. So the only thing left for you to do when you have this part down is to actually press X at the exact time that the proxy is going to happen. So what you want to do is you want to hold up on the D-pad, you want to jump, let go of up on the D-pad, press square, and then time your X input as soon as Sly's feet pass over this metal band right here on the steel. So as soon as you see Sly's feet go past this, just before he ledge grabs the bookshelf, that's when you want to press X. So you're going to want to single jump, get slide to the wall, against the wall, hold up, jump, let go, square X. Hold forward, jump, let go, square X. So as you can see, I'm over here. This is one of several outcomes that can happen. But when you're here, this is the ideal place you'll want to be. Sometimes you'll get a ledge grab. Sometimes you'll land over here. Either way, you want to move your way to about right here where Sly can stand. And when you can stand, then you can double jump down here to the key. Right, so most of this trick is all about timing and practice. But I'm going to keep explaining this in real time like I did before. So I landed down here. I'm going to single jump, move to the right to make sure Sly is against the wall. I'm going to hold forward on the D-pad. I'm going to jump, let go of forward, press square and X, and do nothing else. I'm not going to touch my analog stick. I'm not going to move the camera. I'm not going to press any other buttons. I'm just going to jump, square, X. So jump, let go, square, X. And right there, as you can see, I landed up there, but I actually fell off. So that's another outcome that can happen. When you're up there like that, what you want to do is you want to spam X to ensure that Sly stays up there when you actually land. As you can see, the same thing happened again. So this time, if that happens, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spam X to make sure Sly ledge grabs. So jump, hold to the right, make sure he's facing forward against the wall. Hold forward, jump, let go, square X. And this is another outcome that can happen. This is by far the worst outcome. You can clip through the wall, and the only way out of there is to load the game. So unfortunately, if that happens to you, it's probably going to be a reset. Okay, so as you can see, I got up there. It was a little janky, but like I said, you can kind of spam your way through this in a way. Slide's ledge grabbed a little bit too far to the left, so I want to get as close to that rafter as I can. So I'm just going to keep spamming X, make sure Slide's up here, and when he's in this position, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to jump down to the key. Alright, so the next trick is going to take place in a gunboat graveyard. It's the next level after you do Cunning Disguise, so this is the level you'll go to next. And there's a few setups for this. They're not too advanced, so this is another trick that's kind of more of an optimization rather than a trick. So what you'd normally do is you come over here, you'd avoid these spotlights, and then you go to climb up this pole, right, or this kind of canvas, this netting. So what you'd normally do is you'd come to the top and you do a cane jump down here to skip most of the level. But there are a few different setups that you can do to maybe make this trick a little easier for you. So I'm going to show those off. Right, so you guys saw me do the first setup. So what I normally like to do, if you don't know how to cane jump, definitely this is a good place to practice cane jumping. But what I do is I just single jump out, and then I press circle, and then as soon as Sly's cane grabs onto the rope, I press X again, and I extend my double jump. So it should look something like this. Right, so another setup you can do is you can actually stand on this railing here, and you can kind of aim yourself right about here. You want to aim for this. If you land on the other side of this kind of flaming piece of wood that's coming up out of the water, you can actually slide off the back side of it and get some extra distance. So you can do this as well, and it's actually pretty easy. But like I said, I like to do the cane jump. It's a lot safer, it's easier, and but yeah, this will work for you. Another thing you can do here is you actually don't have to be all the way to the top of this to actually get this cane jump. So you can actually do it from about right here. So you actually don't have to climb all the way to the top. So you can do it a little earlier. Just a little optimization you can do. But that's about it for this level. Not a whole lot here, just a few optimizations. So let's move on. Alright, so the next trick in the line is on a rocky start. This is the first level in Hub 2, and this is another kind of more optimization than it is a trick. It's a very precise trick, but with enough timing and perfect movement, it shouldn't be that difficult for you. So the idea behind this trick is to skip the fast cycle on the crushers in this level. So what happens here is normally when you run through here, you'll break this, you'll come through, you know, you'll do your movement up to here. And when you get to here, you'll always make this first cycle, but you'll almost never be able to make this cycle up here. As you can see, that probably would have killed me. So what this optimization does is it allows you to actually not have to wait for these crushers, and it saves 2 seconds. So I'll show you where the cycle starts and the movement required to actually make the cycle. Alright, so the cycle starts pretty much exactly when you do the cutscene skip in this level. So what you'd normally want to do is you'd come up here and you'd walk off the edge to do your cutscene skip, and the cycle starts about right now. So from here on out, you want to have pretty much perfect movement, identical to mine, to be able to make this cycle. I'll go over this movement in more detail in a little, but if you just want to follow this movement exactly, this should get you to do the cycle every time. You don't want to miss a step. This is the most important spot right here. You cannot miss a step right there. You want to single jump onto the car, collect the coin, double jump up here, and just keep running through as fast as you can, and you will make the cycle. Ideally, you don't want to kill that guard, the second guard that comes out behind the fences, because if you do, sometimes it'll slow you down and you'll actually miss the cycle. But I killed him there and it worked out, so yeah, you just complete the level the rest of the way and you're good to go. Alright, so I'm going to go over this movement in a lot more detail than what I just did there. So in this section right here, the cycles are going to be off because I'm not doing perfect movement. I'm going to stop and show you guys what I'm doing. So like I said, just come up here normally like you would and skip your cutscene. And as soon as you stand up here, this is about where the cycle starts. It's about when you land on the blue car, or a little bit past that. I'm not exactly sure where the cycle starts. But ideally what you want to do is you want to single jump, collect this coin. You don't really have to. Single jump up here, cut to the left, break the alarm, double jump over that guy's attack, single jump the rest, and right here you want to land on the very corner of this mattress and land on this light. If you land on this light, you will not make the cycle. You have to land on this light and instantly jump over to this side. This has to be done very fast. So I'm going to go over this one last time here, this first part. So you're coming through the bus. Let me turn my camera around here. Okay, so you're coming through the bus, you want to cut to the left. You want to jump over his attack, land here, single jump the rest, land on the corner of the mattress, and then single jump over to this rock. Jump over this guy, attack him, and then fall down on those tires and keep running, cutting corners. Right here, you're going to want to cut to the right. So in some situations, Sly will get caught right here, and he won't actually want to run over. I can't really show it off. It only happens kind of randomly. But Sly sometimes doesn't want to run over this. So you can single jump it and still make it. But try to make sure Sly doesn't get caught on this little step up right here. If Sly gets caught, you're not going to make the cycle. So if he doesn't get caught, you're going to want to continue over here. And this is the most important part. The end cycle right here. This is the hardest part about the whole thing. So what you want to do is you want to come here. You want to single jump onto the back of the car, swing your cane to collect the charm, and then single jump back over towards that guard, that first guard there hiding behind the fence. So ideally, this should look like this. And you can kill this guard. So here I'm a little bit too far to the right. I landed in the street. Ideally, you want to land about right here. And then what you want to do is you want to walk up here, double jump, attack him, and then you can continue running through this cycle. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to kill this second guard here. So I'm going to show you guys this in one fell swoop. So this is what it should look like ideally. You're going to want to single jump, swing your cane, single jump back over. double jump over that, and then just keep running against this left wall. Obviously the cycle isn't going to be perfect because I've been standing here for a while, but ideally jumping over this crack right here saves so much more time than you think it does. And try not to get caught right here on this. I've got caught there a few times and actually blew the cycle. So just double jump up here and stay to the left and just keep running along here, and then you can just cut back to the right and complete the level like normal. From the start, this is what your movement should ideally look like. Like I said, the cycle doesn't start here, so if you lose time here, it doesn't matter. It starts after you do the cutscene skip, so don't worry about any time loss in the early section of this level. So what you do is you come up here normally, you walk off the edge, get your cutscene skip, and then follow my movement exactly here. If you miss a step or run into anything, you will miss the cycle. So be aware of that. Just follow my movement here exactly and you should be fine each time. And there you have it. As long as you do that movement exactly without Sly missing a step or bumping into anything, you should always get the cycle first try very easily. Like I said, you shouldn't have to kill that guard that's in your way, but I like to. Sometimes he likes to bump me out of the way. But I like to attack the guard. You don't have to. You can just run past him. But like I said, that's a Rocky Start fast cycle. It's not the biggest deal in the world if you don't get it. It only loses 2 seconds. If you don't get it, so yeah, do with that as you wish. Okay, so the next trick after Rocky Start Fast Cycle is in Boneyard Casino. This is the level after Murray's Big Gamble. So when you come up to this area, you're just gonna run through here like normal, and this trick skips the platforming section around the left here, and then you come back to the right and come across here to that alarm. So basically this skips this entire section directly over to this pole that you can climb. So the idea behind this trick is to just jump out around an invisible wall and the idea here is to ledge grab the corner of this right here. So it's kind of precise to do. It's not really that difficult once you get the hang of it. There's a few things you want to keep in mind here though when doing this trick. The first being when you run to jump around the corner, you're going to want to be pretty much as far to the side as you can be, or as far to the edge as you can be. So like right here is about where you'd want to jump. So I'll explain this from the beginning. So when you come down here, you're going to break this casino. You're going to jump up here, and you're going to land over here on this ledge. So what you want to make sure is Sly is facing forward. If Sly is facing left or to the right, or ledge grabbing, it won't work. So make sure Sly is positioned in this area. It doesn't matter if you're back or if you're forward. It doesn't really matter. The only thing to keep in mind here is you're going to want to jump as soon as Sly reaches this point. So pretty much you just want to back up a little bit here. And you're just going to want to run down, double jump out to the left, and then cut back into the right. That's about all there really is to it. You're just going to want to run, double jump out to the left, jump back into the right, and you're going to ledge grab this. When you ledge grab this, you're going to tap X to jump up. Yeah. You're going to jump out to the left, curve your way back in. You're going to tap X and then double jump over here, and you should be able to land here pretty easily. Alright, so I'll show you guys this again. Just double jump over here, and you're going to want to run forward, jump out to the left towards this, kind of towards this big pillar, and then as you're kind of passing these bushes here, you're going to want to curve back in. So it's literally just run forward, jump left, and then curve back into the right. And with enough practice, it's relatively easy. It's really not that difficult. You just want to make sure you jump when Sly gets to right here. If you jump too soon, you won't be able to make it. You won't have enough distance. So just run forward, jump out to the left, and you can ledge grab the front like this. I'll try to show you guys where this invisible wall is right here. So if I come back over here, and if I just jump right at it, you can see there's like an invisible wall there that you can't really grab. So the idea behind this trick is to jump around that invisible wall. As you can see, it's pretty much just right there on the corner. It doesn't stick out very far, so it's really not that precise. But yeah, the invisible wall is right on the corner. It sticks out a little bit farther than the wall. So you basically just want to jump out to the left as far as you can and then curve back in to get the ledge grab. So just run forward, jump, curve back in, and you should be able to ledge grab this. When you do, just tap X and then double jump to the left, and you should be good to go. Okay, so the next trick takes place here in Straight to the Top. It is the level after At the Dog Track, which is the level after you do Boneyard Casino. So you'll do Boneyard Casino, you'll come to do At the Dog Track, and then you'll go up to Straight to the Top. And this trick is one that I actually personally found a few months back. This actually does lose maybe a second or two to the old strat, but I like doing this strat because you don't have to worry about your coin count. You also don't have to worry about having a charm for this level. So this is my ideal strat that I like to do, but I'll show you the super jump strat first. So the super jump strat kind of goes a little bit like this. So you'll jump on these tires, you'll climb this pole all the way to the top, and then you'll jump off and you'll do a super jump train over here to this car. And if you do it right, you'll hit the wrecking ball trigger, and you should complete the level just like that. Like I said, this strat is a little bit faster, just barely faster than the strat I'm going to show you here. But the strat I like to do is a lot safer, it's a lot easier, doesn't require a charm, so I'll show you guys that now. Alright, so the next strat is, like I said, it's a lot easier to do. So what you'll do is you'll just come across here like normal. You're going to want to come down here and you're going to jump over this guard's attack, come over, kill him. So after you kill this guard, you're going to come back here to the left, double jump on top of these boxes, and you should be right on the edge of the box. This is about where you want to be. So if you jump into this kind of corner, you can get proxied right up here to the end of the level. And it's very, very easy to do. This doesn't require a lot of practice at all. The only thing to keep in mind about this trick when you do it is you want Sly to slide off the box. So if you see, if I jump over here to the left, it still works, but it's not as consistent. So what I like to do here is I like to stand on the box, and I like to kind of just barely, I like to jump, and I kind of like to barely just move forward. So just tap forward just a tiny, tiny bit, and Sly should kind of slide off the box into the tire and get a proxy. So if I do that, you'll see Sly slides off the box, and I can go straight into the wrecking ball. Like I said before, if you don't slide off the box, it might not work first try. So if you jump in here, and like I said, if you're a little bit too far to the left, like I said, it won't work. It might not give you the amount of height that you need. So I like to stand right here in the center of the box, and then I just like to jump, tap forward like once or twice on the D-pad, and make sure you land into this corner here. This corner is the corner that'll proxy you. If you land over here to the right, you will not get a proxy. So try to aim in this corner. So all it is you just single jump, tap forward a couple times, and right there, Slide didn't slide off the back of the box, so I'm going to try that again. So tap forward, slide off the box, hit the proxy, and you can go straight to the end of the level just like that. And it's a lot easier than the super jump strat. Like I said, it does lose a little bit of time, but it's barely any. It's maybe 1 second of time loss here. So do what you'd like in this level. If you'd like the super jump strat, if you like that strat better, whichever one works for you works for me. But yeah, that should be about it for this level. Alright, this is another pretty big trick in the run. Zen and I both do not do this trick. This trick saves up to 30 seconds or more. It saves a lot of time if you get it first try. If you don't get it first try, it loses a lot of time. So it's a very, very risky strat to go for. But there is a setup for it, and it's kind of consistent. We haven't really done a lot of testing with this trick yet, but it takes place in the level 2 to Tango. So you're going to want to spawn in. You're going to come up here like normal. And the idea behind this trick is to skip the cutscene of Carmelita talking to us. When you climb this pipe up to the roof, you'll land up here, and then Carmelita will say, basically say she's going to chase Sly, right? So this cutscene is really long, and we don't want to watch it. So what we can actually do is there's a proxy on this antenna. So the only thing you really have to worry about here, it's not a very difficult trick to do. It's just inconsistent. So the only thing you want to do is you just want to run over here into this corner, right? That's all you have to do, right? And then wait for the antenna to come to the right, and then start tapping forward on the D-pad a couple times. Just tap forward a little bit and make sure Sly's kind of in between the antenna and the wall, kind of like right here. The antenna will push you back, so kind of let that happen. And when the antenna pushes you back, you're kind of in the right spot. So this looks about right. I'm directly in between the antenna and the wall. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wait for the antenna to be at its correct point, and then I'm going to single jump, tap forward on the D-pad twice, so it should literally look like this. As you can see, it's very, very minor movement forward. It's just a tiny little tap forward. I usually like to tap the D-pad twice here. You could tap it once or twice, doesn't really matter. But that's all the more movement you need here. It's just that tiny bit of forward momentum. So like I said, just get yourself kind of wedged into this corner, let the antenna move you around a bit, tap forward on the D-pad a couple times, and when the antenna comes to the right, so I'll try to explain the antenna cycle here. So this is kind of the same antenna as in Paris. So as you can see, it's on a cycle, it's swaying around, and this swaying around is actually what allows this proxy to work. So as you can see, the antenna's on its left, now it's to the right, it's back going to the left, and now it's to the right, and now it's to the left. So as soon as the antenna goes from its right position and it starts to move over to the left, that's when you're going to want to jump and tap forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. So right about here is where I'm going to do it. Again, right about now. Right about now. So when you find out the timing for this, it becomes a lot easier. Like I said, it's still inconsistent, so you're going to have to mess with this a lot. Like I said, me and Zenthro both don't do this in our runs. 105 is possible without date skip, so you don't actually need to do this trick, but it does save a lot of time if you do get it. But the only reason we don't go for it is because it's very inconsistent, and it's pretty far in the run. So, like I said, I'm going to wait for the antenna. So right about here is when I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on this cycle. So jump, tap forward twice on the D-pad, and as you can see, Slide did get kind of launched up out of the ground, just a tiny bit there. So we know we're in the correct spot. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I got launched, but I hit the top of the antenna. I'm going to do it again. Didn't get a launch that time, so I was a little bit off. Again, not a launch. Got a launch there, so that was a good spot. Got a pretty nice launch there, but it wasn't enough height to land where I need to land. Another launch. So like I said, just keep trying this over and over until you get it. It will work eventually. The only thing you have to do is press X and tap forward on the D-pad. That's all you have to do here. So that was even better of a launch, but still not enough height to get me to the roof. So I'm going to do it again. There it is. That's the height we need. So when you get the launch, you're going to want to hold right, and you're going to land up here on this roof. So as you can see, Carmelita's still over there. We skipped her. She's not. This dialogue is not active. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run over here to the left. And this is another difficult, pretty difficult part of the trick. So there's a death barrier pretty much along this entire roof. But there is one specific spot that you can make it across. So you're going to have to mess with this a few times until you find out the spot. So what I like to do is I like to come over here while I'm running back from this proxy. When I'm running over this way, I like to kind of do this in one motion. I like to kind of hook to the left, and then when Sly gets about to the edge of the roof, a little bit before the edge, I like to jump directly towards this spinning, whatever this is right here. I like to jump directly towards it, this vent or whatever. So if you just extend your double jump, you should be able to make it pretty easily. So if you just jump straight ahead, that was a little bit off, so I'm going to jump a little bit more to the right, a little bit off again. So I'm actually going to back up this time and get a running start. And eventually you will get this. And there we go. So like I said, it's very precise. You'll have to find out where that spot is. I can't really explain where that spot is. You kind of just have to mess around with it and see what works. It's easy to do this on a 100% file to practice this trick, simply because you have the fall damage ability, so you won't take any damage when you fall into like a death barrier or water or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and do this trick again. I'm going to kill the guard. I'm going to come over here into the spot, jump, tap forward on the D-pad, and just try to make sure you get enough height before you send it over there. You're going to want to make sure you get the ideal amount of height before you go. So like that wasn't enough height. You'll get a feel for what is and isn't the correct amount of height here after you practice this a few times. So yeah, just try to, the proxy is the inconsistent part. The jump back over to the roof is 100% consistent. Just the proxy itself is the part that makes this rough. Okay, so we got the proxy again. So now I'm going to show you guys what I like to do to make this in kind of one cycle. I don't really know if this is just a placebo effect or if it actually helps, but I like to run in this direction. And then when Sly gets to this last brick right here, this last like section of the roof, like this is say this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, right? So there's like a bunch of bricks here. I like to run directly straight ahead here, cut to the left, and then double jump across. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just me or if it actually does help, but if you do kind of that setup and extend your double jump, you should be able to make it over here without actually taking damage on the death plane in between these two buildings. But yeah, try that out for yourself and see if you can make that consistent. Like I said, this part is the consistent part. This part's the easy part. The hardest part is actually getting the proxy off of the antenna. Once you get that down, the rest is cake. So yeah, just practice that and you should be good to go. Alright, so this next trick takes place when you jump down from this roof. You're going to land here at the checkpoint and you're going to come through here. So this trick is actually fairly easy to do, but it does require a little bit of practice. It's a pretty precise jump, but once you get it down, it's not too bad. But like I said, this is all preference. The way we normally do this is we come over here, we jump on this mattress, and the guard doesn't actually see us, so we can just jump across these. But that's a little bit slower than the way that I actually found. I like this way a little bit better. So when you come through here in a run, you normally go over there to the right and do the mattress strat that I just explained. But what you can actually do is you can actually jump off of this vault up to that last chandelier there. So I'll show you guys that now. So the first problem you're going to come into is you're going to probably die to this guard if you walk into his light. So what I like to do is if you see this little ledge down here with this broken piece of wood, if you jump and land on that and then jump up and kill the guard will not attack you. For whatever reason, this little ledge here blocks his line of sight to you. So if you land down here on this piece of wood and then jump up, you can attack him without having any problem. So what I like to do is I like to just double jump in, single jump up and attack him. So when you actually do kill the guard, you're going to want to turn your camera. I like to turn my camera a bit to the right. You don't actually have to do this. You can just do it with a normal camera angle. It might be easier for you, but I like to turn my camera like this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stay to this side of the vault. The left side of the vault works too. It's a little bit harder, but I like to go from the right side of the vault, about right here. And you're just going to want to run to the edge, and then you're going to want to extend your double jump and try to ledge grab this chandelier. So it should look something like this. And when you land up here, you can just jump across and do your ladder strat. Obviously, I missed that right there, but in a run, you wouldn't miss that. So you'd land here on the ladder and then do your strat. But yeah, this should look kind of something like this. So you jump down here, and then you attack the guard, and then you jump up here, and then you just extend your double jump. And you can bop your head off the top of this chandelier. It's a little bit annoying. It's pretty in the way, if you ask me. Which is why I kind of like to stay to the right side of the vault. For whatever reason, it doesn't bonk you nearly as much. But if you extend your double jump just right, you should be able to make the ledge grab. It's a little bit tough, like I said. But with enough practice, you can do this. I don't like to do this part in runs, simply because it's not as consistent as it should be. And I'm all for consistency rather than speed. So like I said, you can ledge grab this. You can mess around with that as much as you'd like. But like I said, it's not really worth doing. It does save a couple seconds. But you can use that however you'd like. If you want to do it, you can. If not, just do the old strat. The old strat really isn't that much slower. All it really skips is just jumping on these two chandeliers here. So like I said, it's not really that much faster, but it does save a little time. It is an optimization. So I figured I'd show it off here in case any of you guys would like to do that. But yeah, it should look a little bit like that. And doing this vault strat makes this ladder strat a little bit more difficult because the chandelier starts to sway when you land on it. So you'll have to make sure you practice this ladder strat enough to make sure you can get it. But either way, that's all there is in this level. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to do the chandelier jump on the third phase of mugshot. So what you want to do is you want to just jump right ahead and land. And now when you're here, mugshot's instantly going to shoot this mirror. So what you're going to want to do is wait for his attack to hit the mirror. You're going to want to swing, hit the mirror, hold upright on the D-pad, which is an upright diagonal angle, and then double jump out to the left. And as soon as you clear the mirror, you're going to want to hold back into the left. So you're going to want to jump out to the right and double jump, and then when Slide does his double jump, you're going to want to turn your analog stick from up right to up left, and you should get a ledge grab. So right here I got the ledge grab. So what you're going to do from this point is you're going to tap X to get up onto the chandelier, and then you're going to hold right on the D-pad. Now I'm moving my camera around, so there's it's not 100% guaranteed to work here. I might actually fall off the chandelier. So try not to move your camera or move your analog stick. All you want to do here is tap X and then hold right on the D-pad and time your cane swings to hit the mirrors, and that's all you need to do. So I got the ledge grab. Now I'm just going to tap X and try to time my inputs with the mirrors to hit all of them. So I got the last mirror. As you can see, I hit it, and I also took damage, so that means this trick worked. So what I can do from here is I can load the game, and you'll see the autosave icon pop up, which means I got the trick. And from there, you can just view map and go straight to the hideout, and that's Chandelier Jump. So this trick really isn't an advanced trick. It's actually fairly easy once you get the hang of it. I feel like everyone that runs this game should be able to do this trick. But I'll show you what it looks like in one go. So hold up right, hit the mirror, and then hold left, jump up, and hold right on the D-pad while you time your inputs with the cane. As soon as you hit the last mirror, you're going to want to load the game, and like I said, the autosave icon should pop up, which means you got the trick. And then you can view map and go to the hideout, and you're good to go. So if for whatever reason you find yourself missing mirrors, or you get say like a ledge grabless chandelier, like you land up there without getting a ledge grab, what you can do is you can actually walk into mugshot, hit him, and then continue hitting your mirrors. So I'll try to show that off now. But yeah, so like I said, if I'm up this far, right, you can stand up here with him. So hit him again, and you can go about your business. And when he starts to attack again, if you time it correctly, you can actually stay up there for pretty much as long as you want. So let me get back up there. Okay, so like I'm up here now, I'm gonna run into him, hit him once, hit him twice, and that'll give me enough time to keep moving. Then I'm gonna wait, hit him again, hit him twice, continue, hit him, hit him. See, like, you can stand up here with him as long as you time your inputs and you don't fall off the chandelier. You can stand up here for as long as you need. As long as you hit this hit mugshot in the correct way. Make sure you hit him twice. If you hit him once, sometimes it won't work, so I always like to hit him twice. And then just continue getting your mirrors, and you should be good to go. So like I said, you could stay up there for as long as you need to. Take your time up there. Practice that a little bit, and like I said, it's not really an advanced trick. I think everyone that runs this game can easily do that. So yeah, just practice that a little bit, and you should be good to go. Alright, so moving on from World 2, starting in World 3 at the very beginning, this is the first level, the Dread Swamp Path. This trick is known as Dread Swamp Jump, or DSJ. I wouldn't recommend anyone really do this trick. It only saves 12 seconds, and it's very, very risky to do. It's definitely up there with one of the hardest tricks in the game, if not the hardest trick in the game. So this trick is not necessary for you to do unless you're on a world record pace or you're going for a world record run. But if you're not going for that, this trick isn't really worth doing, I wouldn't say. It only saves 12 seconds and it is very, very difficult. So practice this for a little bit, but you don't have to really mess with it too much because it really isn't going to matter unless you're going for a world record. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is the setup that I like to do in this situation. And I will show you guys Zenthro's setup. But that's what the trick looks like. So let's break it down. Alright, so there's a few things to keep in mind about this trick when you're doing it. First of all, the main concern that everyone has with this trick is the fact that your camera changes mid-fall when you're landing on the rock down there. So what you'd normally do is you'd want to try to jump and land on this rock. But as you could see, the camera kind of switched on me midway. It went from this angle to this angle. It pretty much did a full 180 degrees. So the problem, that's the main problem for a lot of people when doing this trick, is they can't get used to the camera changing. So once you get used to the camera changing, that'll most likely be the hardest part of the trick done. I think landing on the rock is probably the easiest part about this entire trick. Actually landing over there on the vine to my left, this is probably the hardest part. As you can see, I missed it. So what we'd normally do here is we'd come up here like normal. You know, we'd jump on here, we'd land on this vine. And to do this trick, there's a few different ways you can do it. So I like to personally jump about right here. I like to single jump over the waterfall, and then when the camera changes, I like to change my analog stick direction from forward to backwards, because the camera does a 180 degree change. So what I'll do is I'll single jump off to the right, and then as I'll let go of my analog stick midair, let the camera change, and then I'll make my final adjustment to land on this right edge of the rock. So as you can see, I'll try to outline this. This is the part of the rock that you can stand on. You cannot stand on either of the two parts on my right, but you can stand on the one to the left of me right now, the one I'm standing on currently. So you can actually move around just a tiny bit here. There's actually a pretty decent amount of room you have when you're up here. But as long as you stay on this side of the rock, the right side, you will be able to land on this pretty easily. But if I move to the left, you'll see I'll slide off. So if I land right here, I'm going to slide off. So the way to prevent that from happening is, like I said, I like to jump off before I reach the waterfall, let go of my analog stick, and then change it at the last second to get slide to land on this right side. So you can either land right in the center like this, or you can land a little bit to the side. It doesn't really matter. Either one works. But when I land here, I like to kind of readjust myself so slide's kind of on top of the center and about halfway down. So when I do attempt to jump across to that vine, I hopefully will have enough distance to make it with just a small running start. And as you can see, I made it again. Alright, so like I said, just come over here like normal. And when you get to be about right here is where you want to jump. When the camera starts to go from pointing forward to pointing down, like right here, I like to kind of jump off to the right at a diagonal angle, see where I'm lining up, and then fix it at the last second. So like you don't have to adjust initially, you can wait until the camera changes around Sly and then make your final adjustment to land on the side of the rock. So as you can see, Sly is like almost completely off to the side, and I still managed to land on it. So you do have a pretty big area to land here. Like I said, do not land on the left side because you will fall off. The right side is completely safe. The left side is not safe at all. So I'll show you guys this again. So just slide down here, jump off to the right, let the camera change, and then make your final adjustment. When you land here, I like to readjust Sly, very, very minor readjustments. So as you can see, Sly is about halfway down, so I'm going to get a nice running start. I'm going to extend my double jump and mash circle, kind of like I do Clockwerk Jump. So I'm going to get a running start, extend my X input, and mash circle, and you should land right here. Now from here, there's a few things you can do. You can either, the safest way is to just jump on here, and then jump across like normal. That's the way I like to do it. It's the safest way. Definitely the easiest out of all the ways you can do this. But another way you can actually do this, it's a lot more risky, but when you land here, you can actually double jump down and double jump across to here like this. Now, I would never recommend anyone do this unless you're literally going for like one or two extra seconds of time save. This is only really necessary if you're really pushing for a world record. Because this jump here to the tree is pretty rough sometimes. But once you get it down, it's really not too bad. You just have to make sure you don't slide off there into the water. It's very difficult to land on this route because it's so easy to slide off into the water. So I'll go over my setup one more time, and then I'll show you guys Zen's setup. Alright, so my setup from the beginning looks like this. I like to run across here like normal, double jump and hit circle, and then I like to jump across, try to hit this bouncer early. Like I said, single jump to the right, let the camera change, and then make your final adjustment. As you can see, Sly landed in a very awkward position, so I'm going to have to do some readjusting here. Like I said, very, very small movements is all you need to readjust. This looks about good, so I'll try to get a running start here, and then extend my double jump and hit circle. And as you can see, you could hear me spamming circle, but it didn't work. So if that happens to you, like I said, it's going to be a reset. This trick is very risky. It's really not worth it to do unless you are going for a world record. Another thing I want to mention is when you do jump across there, so I like to press X, X, and then circle. I like to kind of extend my double jump like this. But the thing about the circle input is you have to press it as soon as you press X. So I like to kind of, you know how you super jump? You kind of roll your thumb off of square to X. I kind of like to do the same kind of thing here, is I like to roll my finger off of X to circle. So it should be X, X, circle, circle, and just try to spam circle and hope that one of the inputs actually gets you over to the vine. So like I said, don't do X, X, circle, do X, X, circle, 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 just spam as fast as you can. As soon as you press X the second time, you pretty much want to be instantly spamming circle to try to get to this vine. So that's about all I have to say about that setup. Like I said, it's much easier to land on the rock on this side as opposed to this side. You can't even land on this side, so you always want to land either directly in the center where this edge is, or land on the right edge of the rock. This entire area right here is safe to land on, so try to aim for this side of the rock. But without further ado, I will now show you guys Zen throw setup. You can use either of these two setups. Either one works. They're both pretty much identical. The only difference is where we actually jump off the vine initially. So, like I said, there's not many differences between my and Zen's setup here. Zen likes to come down here, and instead of jumping here where I like to jump about right here, Zen likes to wait until he gets to right here to line himself up with the rock, so he doesn't have to jump on a diagonal. Usually, I've seen Mickle do this where he'll come down the vine, kind of like this, and then get to the edge, jump, press circle to stop slide in this exact position, and then jump across. I don't personally like to do that. I don't like to press circle an extra time. So what I like to do here is, if I'm doing Zen setup, I like to just kind of jump in the same kind of way that I do before. I don't like to stop myself on the vine with circle. I think it might actually ruin my chances in a way. I'm just not used to doing that. But like I said, it's about the same kind of setup. You'll still have to do the same ending. The only difference, like I said, the only difference is the point of jumping off to the rock. The only reason that we do this any different is because of the camera. So we each have our own kind of way of changing the camera that we're used to. So like I said, when you jump down, the camera will flip 180 degrees, so you have to find a setup that you're used to practice and learn how the camera flips. So what I like to do, like I said before, is the same thing with Zen setup, is I like to jump off, I like to wait to jump a second time until the camera flips. So what I'll do here is I'll come down, I'm going to single jump, wait for the camera to flip, and then double jump and try to make my very final adjustment. So like that worked out pretty well. And like I said, I'm on the right side, so now I got to readjust just a tiny bit. Being aware that you do not land on the left side of the rock, because you will slide off. So this looks about good. Just barely enough distance to miss it there. So like I said, just practice between these two setups. Whatever one you like the most, do. You can even find your own setup for this. You don't have to do either of the setups that me and Zen like to do here. You can make your own setup, completely up to you. But like I said, just practice this. You really don't need to do this in runs. Like I said, it's only a world record strat. So if you're going for world records, then you should probably learn this. But if you're not worried about getting that extra 15-second time save on one of the hardest tricks in the game, you really don't need to worry about it. It really just isn't worth it for new runners. But this is an advanced tricks tutorial. So I am going to try to show you guys everything that you can do in the run to improve your time. But as you can see, like, the hardest part, like I said before, is actually jumping off the rock. I think landing on the rock is the easiest part, but actually jumping from the rock to the vine is pretty rough sometimes. But once you get it down, you'll never forget how to do it. It's like riding a bike. Just try to practice landing on the rock. Once you get the rock down, just practice getting that tiny running start off the rock without sliding off. So that's the main issue here that a lot of people have, is they actually manage to land on the rock, but they actually miss the vine. So if you manage to land on the rock like this, just reposition yourself a little bit to get slide to the center. And then I like to kind of put my camera in this area here, and I like to kind of hold up left to get a running start. You can do it from any camera angle. You can do it like this. I've seen a few people do the trick like this. That's another way you can do it to make it a little easier for you to see exactly where slide is actually going to fall off. But yeah, you'll have to figure out your own setup here. There's really not a whole lot you can do. You just have to practice this for yourself. This trick is very precise. But with enough practice, like I said, you can do this very consistently. The next trick is here in Lair of the Beast. This is the level you do right after Dread Swamp Path. So what you'd normally do in this level is you'd come up here normally, do all the fancy jumps. Do your cane jump over to here. And this trick is called Snake Jump. It allows you to skip slope jumping up this wall and jumping down here like normal. You can actually make it to this vine from this wall over here. Nice. That actually worked out. Okay, so we're back over here. You can actually make it to that vine from this wall. The only problem with this trick is the wall is not as it seems. So like right now I'm on the very, very edge, but as you can see I still feel like I have a little bit farther to go. But if I jump even farther, Sly will ledge grab. So it's very easy to miss this because the floor ends a little bit before the wall. So you'll have to get used to that. But what you normally want to do this trick, like I said, it's not very difficult. It's just kind of hard because you can't really see Sly. Alright, so what I like to do is I like to just jump down here like normal. And then as I'm running, I like to curve, jump towards the vault, and then press circle. So I don't like to jump towards the vine. I actually like to jump towards the vault. I feel like the circle grab is a little bit more lenient when you jump towards the vault. If you press circle a little bit too early, Sly will actually miss the vine, and sometimes he'll ledge grab here and you'll be safe, but sometimes you'll miss and fall into the water, which is pretty bad. But if that happens and you have a charm, just jump up the normal way. Don't bother doing it again. If you miss it in one go, it's a lot harder to get the trick in the go after, because you're not really set up. The camera angle is a bit weird. So I'll show you guys this in one go. Like I said, this trick really isn't, there's not much here to explain. It's all about just double jumping and timing your X input. I like to jump towards the vault. That's really about all I had to say. So just do your cane jump over here, hop up. As soon as you jump down, get ready to do the strat. Curve to the left, jump towards the vault, press circle, and you're good to go. Get the key. This trick saves about 1 to 2 seconds depending on how slow your slope jump is. But like I said, I wouldn't really go for this unless you have a charm and you're confident in the trick. It's really kind of lame to throw your run for 1 second of time save. So if you don't have a charm, you're not comfortable, just do the normal strat. But if you are comfortable with this trick and you have a charm, feel free to go for it, even without a charm if you're still comfortable. It's fairly easy. Like I said, it's really not that difficult. But that's about it here, so let's move on. Alright, so what'll happen next is after Lair of the Beast, you'll go and complete the fish minigame. After you do the fish minigame and you view map back to the hub, there's this trick you can do to actually get to a grave undertaking a little bit faster. So the way we normally get up to this level is to go around this way, jump on this pad, hop up here, and come around this way. And that's fine. It's pretty fast. It's really not like it's really not that slow. But there's a little bit of a faster thing you can do here. It is pretty advanced. It's not really any different than anything else we've done. It's more of just an extended double jump, but you have to be very precise with it. So instead of going over to the right, what you can do is you can come here to the left, jump up here, and you can actually make this jump up to here. The only way to do it is to jump at the very, very edge of this roof and to extend your double jump, and you should be able to get it every time. So I like to do this in a running start. I kind of just like to run at it, jump at the very, very last second that you can, and I like to kind of aim for this little point that sticks out about right here. About right here, I like to aim for it. You can ledge grab pretty much wherever you want, but I like to just kind of run at it directly straight like this and just ledge grab it. If you miss the ledge grab, you'll fall down, and you can instantly turn around and go for it again. Unfortunately, if you do miss the ledge grab, it does lose some time to the old strat, but not a whole lot if you get it the second try. So it's not really anything difficult. Literally, all you do is you just sprint forward, and then you jump at the very last second, extending your double jump, and you should ledge grab. It's pretty easy, but it is precise. So just practice it a little bit, and you should be good to go. So let's move into Grave Undertaking now. Alright, so right off the bat, there's a few things I want to mention about this level. I just recently found a new strat to this level. The old strat, as you know, is the hook jump, which a lot of people don't like. Hook jump has been known for ruining people's runs. It's a pretty advanced trick as it stands. It's one of the harder tricks in the game. So what normally you do is you do the hook jump, and you'd hop up here like this, and then you come over, jump across, and then you hop over and get your key, which is fine. You can definitely do that. If you're used to doing hook jump and you've practiced doing hook jump for a long time, then I wouldn't recommend changing up your strategy. This strategy saves up to 2 seconds. It could save more if done perfectly, but that's the old strat. So the new strat here is actually a new out of bounds. So what you'll do is you'll come here, collect your charm, jump on this tree branch here. You'll double jump up and ledge grab this. And then what I like to do here is I like to hold right and double jump again to land up here. Make sure Sly is facing in this direction. If Sly is facing here, he'll fall off. So you have to make sure you do this in one go to make sure Sly is still facing in this direction. When Sly is facing in this direction, you're good to go. So I can't really show where to land here. Actually, I guess I could. So right about there is where you're gonna ledge grab. So I like to turn my camera pretty much like this, and I like to hold almost directly to the right, but just a tiny bit up. So pretty much fully to the right, I'm holding my analog stick here, and I'm gonna extend my double jump. And as you can see, I got really close to ledge grabbing right there. So I'm gonna try this again, and there it is. So I ledge grab this. This is the ideal point to ledge grab. So now from this point, you're going to tap X and land up here. From here, you're going to jump over to this branch. And this jump here can be a little bit wacky. So I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little like tree branch point right there to my left. It just kind of barely sticks up over the leaves. You're going to want to jump towards that. And you're going to land up here. When you land up here, you're going to double jump to the right and land out of bounds. So when you're out of bounds, you only have one more difficult jump to do. So that jump is as follows. So what you'll do is you want to land on the edge of this tree branch right here, and you're going to spam X to jump over. So I like to kind of get a running start here and kind of jump to the right, and then spam X to make sure you make it. When you make it, try not to die to the mosquito or these ghosts that come out. The ghosts will instantly start following you. I'm actually going to walk over here and break this just for the purpose of the video, so I don't have ghosts coming at me. But those ghosts will attack you, so you want to kind of do this in one fluid motion. So as soon as you jump over here, what you're going to want to do is hop on here, and this is easily the hardest part. Trying not to die to these guys. So just take your time here, whack the ghost, and when you think the coast is clear, you can jump over and attack and try to hit the ghost on the left. If you do that successfully, you're good to collect the key and go. So I'll show you guys this again. So you collect your charm, kill the ghost, jump over here to the right, double jump up, ledge grab, double jump again, and make sure Sly is facing to the right. Now I'm going to hold to the right, almost completely to the right on my analog stick here, and double jump. And I'm going to get the ledge grab, then I'm going to tap X, jump across to this branch, jump across to this branch, jump out of bounds, get a running start, double jump, spam X to make sure Sly makes it up there, avoid the mosquito, and start heading across here. Take your time. Ghosts will come behind you, so try to make sure when you find that opening on the left side that you take it. Make sure you risk it for the biscuit here. Go for that ghost. Try to hit him in the air on the way down. And if you do that successfully, you will be able to grab the key and head on. So in one fluid motion, this trick looks like this. And I personally think this trick is easier than hook jump. You can be the judge of that though for yourself. But that's about it. Just practice that yourself. Like I said, the hardest part is at the end, is actually avoiding all these ghosts following you. Ghosts come from behind you, in front of you. It's just a catastrophe. So if you're, like I said, if you're more used to doing hook jump, just do hook jump. It loses 1 second to this trick. But if you want to try something new here and you want to get a little bit of a feel for this new out of bounds trick, this will save you up to 2 more seconds. So it is worth doing for sure, and I personally think it's easier. So like I said, do whatever works for you. Alright, so this next trick is really nothing too special. It's super easy to do. Not going to spend a whole lot of time explaining it. But all it really does is allows you to skip entering this vehicle animation and go right into the level trigger. So all you need to do is run, single jump, and swing your cane in any of these directions. This should work every time. And you'll miss the vehicle and you can just run into the level like normal. I'm not exactly sure if that saves time. At this point, it's just a habit that I like to do. But like I said, all you got to do is just run forward, single jump, and then swing your cane, and Sly will miss. It definitely saves time in 100% because you can use the fast ability, but I'm not actually sure if it saves any time in any percent. So the next part of this trick is going to take place at the very, very end of the level. It allows you to skip all of the final 3 gravestones with all the ghosts coming out. You can actually break them instantly if you go behind them. So what I like to normally do here is I like to save my charm from a grave undertaking. I try not to die in chickens. If you can manage to save your charm for this level, it's actually perfect. Because if you lose your charm, you won't lose any time. So it's a win-win. If you do lose your charm, you'll still be alive and you won't need it for the future. So it's actually a perfect idea to actually bring a charm into this level. But let me actually get to the end where the trick takes place, and then I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so this trick is in this final area. So what I like to do is I like to destroy the middle one first, then destroy the one on the left, and then destroy the one on the right normally. So this is what this should ideally look like. So come down, you'll break this, and then I like to sit right here in the middle and inch my way forward. Come to the left and shoot that one from behind. Now there I lost my charm, which is actually the perfect place to lose your charm if you have to, because it will despawn all of the ghosts. So what I did there is I came down here like normal. I broke this first torch. I shot this while inching forward. I came over here, turned around, and shot that from behind. I lost my charm, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back to the right and break this final torch with only one ghost spawning at a time. So that's really easy to do. Like I said, if you have a charm, it shouldn't be difficult for you to do at all. So like I said, just come down here, break the one in the middle first, come to the left, turn around, break this one, come back to the right, and then break the one on the right normally. And I'll show you guys this again in one go. Alright, so this is what the end should look like here. I'll play this again in slow-mo so you guys can see. But like I said, break this first torch, come up here, break the first gravestone, turn around, break the second one, lose your charm or kill all the ghosts. When all the ghosts are dead, you want to come over here and break the final torch, and you're good to go. Alright, so this is the final trick in World 3. This is in the level Descent into Danger, and this trick is known as Bone Jump. This trick is the hardest cane jump we have to do in the game. It's also cycle-based with the guard, so if you're too slow, you will probably get hit. But like I said, I'm going to show you how to do this first, and then after I do it once, I'll explain it in detail how to actually do the trick. So just come down here, break these, jump across, And that wasn't ideal, but that is kind of on average what it should look like. So now I'll hop back down and I'll explain to you guys exactly how to do this trick. So this guard is on a cycle. So every time you load the game and spawn in here and start running down, you should be on the ideal cycle to actually make bone jump without the guard spotting you. You can do all of this without killing that first guard. But if you need to, you can come over here and attack him. It's safer to just attack him, so if you're not completely used to doing this trick yet, just attack him and kill him. Right, so now I'll explain the actual cane jump part of this trick, which is debatably the hardest part. If you can actually do the bone jump, killing the guard is no problem, and actually jumping up and doing the rest of it is no problem. So what we'll normally do here is the guard will be on the perfect cycle for us when we load the game. So normally what you want to do is you come down here, you just break this, and then when you step about right here before this drop down, if you single jump and press circle, you can actually make it to this. And then what you'll do from here is you'll single jump, land on it, and then double jump across. Keep running, double jump, and do the bone jump to get over the spikes. Now normally there'd be a safe here that you can land on, but if there isn't, you can land here and just do it the same way. It's exactly the same. But the cane jump itself is definitely the hardest part. So what you're going to want to do is I like to run right through the center of this. It usually sets me up pretty perfectly. And I like to jump when I get to be about right here in the center of this final triangle, about right here. So what I like to do is I like to just double jump out. I don't like to double jump at the bone. I like to double jump kind of out to the right to give Sly a moment to actually grab the bone. So you'll notice when I jump out, Sly will put his cane over, and it'll give me kind of a visual cue as to when I'm going to press X. So as you can see, if I jump in like this, you can still do it, but it's a little tougher. So what I like to do is I actually like to jump out to the right, like towards these two coins here. And I like to kind of let Sly grab the cane or the bone to the left so I can see his cane come out, and I can predict when Sly's cane is actually going to touch the bone. So what I like to do is for cane jumping, you'll notice this little sound cue when Sly grabs the bone. Actually, let me turn the music off so you can hear it a little better. You'll hear that little clack of the cane touch the bone. So that's what you're listening for. You pretty much want to predict when you're going to hear that. As soon as you hear that clack noise, you pretty much want to start pressing X. So just practice cane jumping off of this in the first place. And when you have the cane jumps down, you'll be ready to do the trick itself. So like I said, practice cane jumping. You're going to want to have cane jumping pretty much down before you do this. So like I said, just jump forward, press circle, predict when Sly's cane is going to touch the bone, and as soon as you think it's going to happen, press X. And extend your double jump to make it over this vine. So like I said, it's really not that difficult to practice. Just kill the guard up there to practice this. And like I said, just jump when you get to be about right here. And let Sly grab the bone for you. You don't have to jump at the bone. You can jump to the right of the bone and Sly will always still grab it. So like I said, just come running straight through the middle, double jump, circle X. So run through the middle, double jump, circle X, X, and you're good to go. So like I said, this guard's on a cycle, so you want to be fast here. So you want to break those, single jump over to here, and then jump off of it. Double jump, circle X, X. Literally, the moment you hear that clack noise, press X and extend your double jump, and Sly will easily make it over top of the spikes. And you're good to jump up here. Like I said, you can kill this guard if he's in your way. I do like to kill him, but if you're fast enough, you can just go right up this rope. You don't actually have to kill him. So it's completely up to you. This trick is definitely one that you're going to have to practice if you plan to implement in your runs. But like I said, if you just do what I said to practice, you should be good to go. But But once you get it down, it should look a little bit something like that. It's pretty much just like any other cane jump in the game. Nothing too special. Just got to make sure you don't aim right at the bone. You want to aim to the right to give Sly that little extra bit of time to reach over and actually grab the bone. Alright, so this next trick is in the level Unseen Foe. This is the third level in Hub 4 after you do Perilous Ascent and King of the Hill. So there's two tricks I'm going to show you guys in this level. One is a very minor optimization and one is a very big time save. However, I'm not going to recommend you do this proxy. I don't think anyone should ever go for this unless they're just behind and they don't really care about their run. I'm not really going to explain this in too much detail, as we don't really know how this works yet. But the idea is you want to get Sly to land in between the tree and the sign, kind of like this. So Sly's actually in between here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move your camera, so pointing at these trees on the left. You're going to point Sly at this tree and you're going to tap forward a few times on the D-pad. Then you're going to move your camera to the right until the tree trunk covers the tree there on the right. As you can see, there's a tree. Cover that with the tree trunk. Tap forward once on the D-pad and then double jump while holding neutral. And if you do it right, you can actually get sent extremely high up into the second checkpoint. As you can see, I did get a launch there, but that was a short launch. We're not looking for that launch. We actually want a much higher launch. So like I said, just point, slide there, and then cover the tree, point forward, double jump. And there it is. So you can actually get sent all the way up here to this top roof. And you can go straight to the end of the level. This trick saves up to 15 seconds if you get it instantly first try, which I don't think anyone's ever going to do successfully because this trick is extremely inconsistent. And I don't think anyone wants to blow their run this far in the run. So, like I said, I'm not really going to explain too much of that. You can try to replicate what I just did. I will not be ever going for this in runs unless I'm extremely behind and I feel like I don't really care about this run anymore. Alright, so the final trick is at the very end of this level. This saves 1 second, and it's extremely risky, so I would not recommend you guys do this unless you're very familiar with how this works. You're going to have to practice this a lot, and this is very annoying to practice. But once you get it down, it is pretty easy to do. It all depends on your confidence level. Like I said, if you miss this trick, you're going to have to restart the entire level. So it is a huge time loss if you miss. And it only saves 1 to 2 seconds if you get it. So it should look something like this. It basically allows you to not have to jump all the way to the bottom and break the alarm in the key. You can actually do it in one go. So it should look something like this. And as you can see, this is not going to work. So I'm going to resume. Done. Alright, so it should, in theory, look something a little bit like this. And if you do it right, you'll hit the alarm and the key in one go. And I actually got the key. As you can see, the autosave icon popped up. So that was very risky. That was barely it. So what you want to do is you want to fall, and right before Sly is above the top of the key, you want to swing your cane and pause and then exit the level. And that skips you from having to land on the bottom, break the alarm, and then break the key separate. Saves about 1 to 2 seconds. But it's very risky. Like I said, if you miss the key, you're going to have to do the entire level over again. So I probably wouldn't recommend this to anyone who's thinking about trying to get that 1 extra second of time save. There's a whole lot of other places in the run that you can get a good 1 second. And this level is not really worth it. I would not recommend blowing your run on a level like this, because this level is very straightforward. There's no need to make this level any harder than it already is. So just do the normal strats here, and if you do feel confident enough to go for this at the very end, feel free. But like I said, you want to make sure you're in the exact spot to do this. So single jump, double jump, swing your cane, and right here this should work. So I'll exit the level, you'll hear the alarm break, and that may or may not have worked. Like I said, I think I was a little bit too far above right there, so you want to wait until you're just above the key and swing your cane and pause. If Sly's cane is down like this, you're not going to get it. Sly's cane needs to be up in the air like that to give you that extra bit of movement. So what you want to do is you want to jump, pause the game as soon as you press the square button, and you'll notice that Sly's cane will continue to fall, and you'll be good to go. So like I said, it's not really worth doing for any new people out there. But it is something that you can mess around with and attempt to use in your runs. Alright, so this trick is going to take place in the level we all know and love, spinning, aka rapid fire assault. So what you'll do is you'll come over here and get out of bounds like normal and go over to the spinning level, just like we would any other day. Alright, so when you're in the spinning level, you're going to do the spinning strat like normal, just spin in the corner, hope for the best. You know, we all know and love this level. So it might take me a few tries to actually get out of bounds here, but it should happen here very, very shortly. But yeah, just do spinning normally. And this trick actually allows you to skip breaking the pillar at the end. And you can actually exit out of the key animation, so it saves about 15 seconds. Alright, so we're out of bounds. So you're going to come over here like normal, and what you would normally do is you drop down here to the left. But instead, what you're going to do, we're going to come over here slowly, and Sly will drop down to this level. So when Sly's on this level, you know you're in the right spot. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to see how this this snow kind of comes at an angle here, right? There's like this edge, and then there's this edge right here where I'm at here. So what you want to do is you kind of want to be right over this middle edge, and you just want to fly off this platform here to the left. So just hold directly left and try to land directly in the center of the of where the pillar would be. So like as you can see, I'm landing. I'm on the pillar now. I'm good. I'm on the pillar. There's no key here. So normally what we used to think is there's no way to actually get this key because it's not spawned in. But if you just inch your way backwards ever so slightly, just a tiny bit at a time, inch your way back, you'll notice the autosave icon will pop up. So just inch your way back very slowly, and eventually Sly will just pick up the key and you'll be good to go. So just inch back. There it is. As you can see, I collected the key, the autosave icon popped up, so now we can just exit the level and you're good to go. And we're going to come over here again like normal, and like I said, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to wait until Sly drops down to this lower level, and then from here you're going to just hold directly to the left and try to land on the pillar in the middle. So what I like to do is I like to hold left, and then when I'm in the air I like to kind of readjust and hold back to the right to stop my momentum. So as you can see, I missed it there. If you do miss it, you can just break the pillar and you're good to go. But like I said, this trick saves up to 15 seconds. You don't want to really spend a lot of the time here. You don't want to spend your whole split like trying to land on the pillar, because if you spend too much time, you're just going to blow all the time save you saved anyway. So just try not to spend a whole lot of time setting up the pillar skip. If you miss it, it's totally fine. It's not even really worth worrying about at this point. But like I said, just come over here, drop down, hold to the left, try to land on the pillar, and if you miss it, just break the pillar like normal. Do not land in here. If you land in here, this is like you cannot get back out. There's literally no way for you to get out of here. You'll have to load the game. So falling in here is an awful thing to happen, so do not fall behind this barrier. So yeah, let me try to show you guys this one more time, actually landing on the pillar, because landing on the pillar is by far the hardest part about this trick. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna drop down, and we're gonna hold to the left. All right, we landed up here again. So now, as you can see, this is a very awkward camera angle, but I'm gonna move back anyway. So obviously there's no key here. I already have the key for this level, so I'm not gonna get the key, but this is ideally what it should look like. So right there, that would have worked 100%. You just want to inch back just barely, and you'll see Sly kind of like dip off the edge a little bit, and when he does that little dip off the edge, he'll pick up the key and you'll be good to go. So just practice landing on the pillar. Once you can land on the pillar, the key is much easier. All you have to do is just hold backwards, just inch back until Sly picks up the key, and then when he gets it, exit the level, and you're good to go. Alright, so the next trick is here in Duel by the Dragon. There are two tricks I'm going to show you guys. The first is called Gate Skip, which saves about 2 to 3 seconds of waiting for the gate to fall when you break it with the rocket. So normally what would you do is you come down here, jump across these trees, and what you'll do is you'll come up here, jump across these icicles, attack this rocket, and then just double jump over here to this light, and Sly will always ledge grab. It's so much easier than it looks. It really isn't that difficult. All you need to do is just run and double jump and ledge grab right there. Just make sure you don't hit this icicle. If you hit the icicle, it's probably going to mess you up, so definitely try not to hit that. But all you need to do is literally just run, double jump towards this lantern, and Sly will ledge grab right here. It's very easy to do. There's not really any more explaining I should even have to do there. It's literally just a double jump. So just practice that. It saves a couple seconds. It's always worth doing. But then the next trick actually saves 2 seconds as well, and this trick allows you to actually save a charm. Normally what you do is you jump down here, and then you land on this safe, and then jump up and hit this checkpoint to death abuse. But if you have a charm and you don't want to actually lose it, what you can do is you can jump here on this little wooden outskirts, and you can actually double jump up to this kind of outcrop here and ledge grab it. And from there you can jump across, get the checkpoint, and you don't actually have to death abuse. You can head right over and finish the level. So I'll try to explain this as best I can. It's really not that difficult. I see a lot of people making a lot of mistakes here. So a lot of people like to think that you have to be on the very edge, which is not the case. You can still make it from the very edge right here, but it is actually harder to do. So I wouldn't recommend actually standing on the very edge. Back up a little bit so you're actually up here. And when you're back far enough, you'll notice because Carmelita actually starts to shoot you. And what you want to do is you don't want to curve your analog stick at all. You don't want to jump out to the left and then back into the right. All you want to do is just hold back and double jump quick. You don't have to extend your double jump. Just hold directly down and double jump. And it should work. Just like that. So you want to try to ledge grab the very, very edge of it. So just this tiny corner bit right there, that's what you're aiming for. So what you can do is you can actually turn your camera and practice it like that. Whatever works for you, it doesn't really matter. Some people prefer to turn their camera. Makes it a little easier sometimes, but I like to actually just do it without the camera. It's the same concept. Literally just aim for the very, very corner edge of that. Like I said, you don't have to curve your analog stick. You can if you want to, but I don't recommend it. But like I said, you just want to kind of start from a little bit farther back. You don't want to start on the very edge like this, because if you do, Sly won't get enough height. So just back up a little bit. You don't really have, it's not really that precise. The only precise part is ledge grabbing the very, very corner of that piece of wood that sticks out. That's the only precise part about this. So just try to make sure you're ledge grabbing the very, very edge, and then when you get it, you can just jump across and you're good to go. It's as simple as that. Just another double jump. Nothing really too special. You're just going to have to practice this. You can still do the death abuse. I know a lot of people still like to do the death abuse. But if you have a charm, I like to actually just do this, because you don't have to lose your charm, and then you don't have to load the game at the end to save the charm. And like, you can just do this all in one go, and you don't have to worry about any of the other stuff. You'll still have your charm, and you'll be good to go for the end game. So that's about all there really is for this level. Pretty much 2 little optimizations you can do. Both very simple double jumps, not too difficult at all. Both save about 2 seconds. So let's move on. Alright, so I know a lot of people, I'm pretty sure every runner does race skip. So I'm not really going to explain too much here. I'm just going to kind of explain my setup. I know some people like to see different perspectives on things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you my setup here, and you can do with this as you please. Just try to replicate it if you really want to practice this. But I know everyone has a different setup for this, so like I said, try to find your own setup. But if you do like mine, you can definitely use it. So what I like to do is I like to come up here, grab this first boost, turn around, and what I like to do is I like to hug this wall. I like to use this wall as a guide for Murray. So I like to turn around, grab the boost, stay along the wall, and as soon as you see Murray's head pop out from behind this tree, literally the moment you see Murray's head, right now, you want to use your boost and you don't want to do anything else. So literally hug the wall, boost, and I just about made it. I'm going to try it again. So hug the wall. As soon as you see Murray's head, boost. Monkey just cock blocked me, so I'm going to restart the race. But like I said, just use the wall, and as soon as you see Murray's head, just use your boost. So it should look something like this. And you're good to go. So now at the end, if you don't want to restart the race, if you drive to the left, you'll have to restart. But if you drive up into this wall, you don't have to restart the race. Murray will never get soft locked. So just use that as you wish. I know a lot of people have different setups for that. But like I said, just hug the wall, and as soon as you see Murray's head, just boost, and you should have the perfect angle to make it over the gate every time. So that's all I'm going to really touch on in race skip. I know everyone does race skip, so it's not really something that I have to make a tutorial on. But I just wanted to showcase my setup in case anyone was curious. Alright, so the final trick here in World 4 is actually in the Panda King boss fight. This trick was found many years ago by a man named, I think his name was Knight Grimoire, if I recall. So basically what this trick allows you to do is that it actually allows you to skip the Panda King when he knocks you back. You can actually avoid the knockback, and then he won't do any further attacks. So you can basically pretty much cheese this entire boss fight. So I'm going to show you basically the ideal movement that you're going to need to do this trick, and then I'll show you how to actually set it up. So if you've ever played Slide 2, you're familiar with a trick called square boosting, which is a frame perfect trick. It involves pressing square and X at the exact same time. Luckily for us, this is not nearly a frame perfect trick in this game. This trick is extremely easy to do, and I think everyone should at least attempt it in their runs. So if you don't know how to square boost, it's literally just pressing X and square to do an animation sort of like this, where Sly single jumps off the ground and instantly swings his cane. So if you're doing this, this is ideal. This is what it should look like. So just get used to pressing square and X almost at the exact same time. Pretty much identical to the way you would square boost in Slide 2. If you press square before X, he'll do something like this. And this is not what you want. You want this. You want a vertical cane attack. You do not want a horizontal cane attack. You want a vertical cane attack, just like a square boost from slide 2. Alright, so when you're comfortable with that, what you're going to do is you're going to come up to the Panda King, and you're going to hit him 10 times. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now he's in his scared phase, so he's not going to do any further attacks. So now how to actually get the skip to work is you want to move up until you cannot run into him anymore. You want to be against his hitbox, just like this. So take a few steps forward. I like to use the D-pad. I like to tap forward to make sure I'm in the right spot. And when you can't move any farther forward, what you're going to do is you're going to square boost and then spam X. So that's all you need to do is don't hold any angle, don't move, don't touch the D-pad, just square boost and spam X. So it should look like this. Square boost and spam X, and there it is. So as you can see, he skipped his knockback animation and he's still in this phase. So now what you can do is you can actually do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the 11th hit is when you're going to do it. So square boost and spam X. And there it is again. So now I'm just going to do this normally. 10 and then 11 is hit him. And then you can view map and go directly to the hideout. But I'm going to load the game and show you guys this again, because I don't think that was a very good replication of how I can do this. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain this out loud how I would do this in a run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Square boost, spam X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you're against his hitbox. I cannot stress that enough. Square boost, spam X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you're against his hitbox. Square boost and spam X. Obviously I missed it there. I don't think I was actually against his hitbox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Square boost and spam X. I wasn't close enough that time. So I'm gonna load again and I'll show you guys this one last time. I'll explain it out loud. So run up to him and count to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk into his hitbox. Square boost, spam X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk into him. Square boost, spam X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk into him. Square boost and spam X. Wasn't close enough that time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Square boost and spam X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And view map to the hideout. And that is the Grim Panda. Alright, so all you guys know this level. I'm sure everyone knows this by heart. This is Bentley Skip, aka a daring rescue. I'm not going to go over a ton of information about this. This is completely up to you to practice. But I will explain my setup. So what I like to do is I like to get Sly about right here, pretty much next to the turret. And I like to double jump and land about right here. Right about on this, where this, this pipe kind of, I guess you could say, bends, right? It kind of bends off to the left. So you want to kind of land right into that bend. So I like to double jump to it, and then I like to single jump into the turret. So I just double jump to the bend, single jump to the turret, and just hope for the best amount of height that I can get here. Like I said, Bentley Skip is probably the one trick that everyone hates running this game. So I like to at least show my setup, so if it helps anyone learn the trick, they can at least learn it for themselves. Alright, so like I said, just double jump to the bend, single jump to the turret, and you'll know when you have enough height and when you have the right angle. So you'll just have to practice this a few times, and there it is. I like to land at the very front and double jump, and it usually works every time for me. So that's all I really wanted to show you guys. I just wanted to show you guys how I do my setup for Bentley Skip. Nothing too special. I'm sure it's pretty much identical to a lot of other people, but I figured I'd at least show you guys, and then I'll put it in slow motion as well so you guys can see it in a more in some more light. Alright, so the final trick in the game is here in Sinking Peril. Obviously, there's still Clockwerk Jump, but I'm not going to go over that because I'm sure all you guys know how to do Clockwerk Jump. If you can do DSJ, you can do Clockwerk Jump. So, I'm going to show you guys the final trick here in Sinking Peril. This is another cane jump, and this trick was actually found by the man Zenthro himself very, very recently. So I'm going to make a tutorial on exactly how to do this trick because one has not been made yet. So it should be a part of this video. So normally what you do is, you guys know the normal strats for here. So you'd come up here, and what this trick actually allows you to do is it allows you to skip everything from this point forward. So literally every laser in this level is no longer an issue. So this trick is actually amazing. It's so easy to do. It really, it's totally free. Like, I'm not even memeing. This trick is so free. It skips so much of Sinking Peril. It makes this level so much easier to play. All this is a cane jump. So I guess I'll just show you guys how it looks right now. So I don't like to move my camera. Some people like to move their camera this way. But no, just keep your camera at a natural camera angle. Hold directly to the right on your analog stick and cane jump. And you should land right up here at the very end. So if you're up here, you can actually get a good angle and see exactly how these poles line up. They're in line exactly. They're perfectly vertical in line from each other. So it's very easy to actually do this trick once you know how the poles are lined up. That's all it is. It's literally just a cane jump. So I'll show you guys, I'll explain how I do this in real time. So I'm sure you guys all know how to cane jump by now. If you made it this far in the video, I'm sure by this point you should know how to cane jump. As you can see, I just did a cane jump right there. So all this is pretty much the only reason people fail this is because they're not holding the right angle. So all you need to do is just climb up this pole and keep the natural camera angle. Don't move the camera here. Don't move the camera here. Keep the camera angle natural. Hold directly to the right on your analog stick. Cane jump and then double jump and press circle. And you should get it every time. Obviously, I didn't get it right there because I messed up, but it does happen. So I'll show you guys this again in one go. So like I said, what you're going to do is you're just going to keep the natural camera angle. You're going to cane jump directly out to the right. Double jump out of it and then press circle, and you should always make it up. So it should look a little bit something like this. So like I said, just climb this pole. Keep the natural camera angle, hold directly to the right. And you should be able to make it just like that. I'll slow that down in slow motion so you guys can see it a little bit better. Like I said, just hold to the right, maybe even just a little bit upright if you want. I kind of like an upright angle, more right though, pretty much almost all the way to the right. And then you just do a single jump to the cane jump, and then double jump out of the cane jump and press circle again, and you're there. And then you can proceed to climb the rest, and you're at the end of the level just like that. It's extremely free. Everyone should be able to do this trick. It's not even an advanced trick. There just hasn't been a tutorial made yet. So I feel like everyone that's learning this game should at least learn this trick. It skips a lot of the more difficult sections of Sinking Peril. If you guys have played this game before, you guys know how demoralizing this level can be to play. Sometimes Sly will just literally miss his circle inputs and fall into the lava for no reason. So this pretty much negates all of that from happening. It can still happen, but it's very rare. So like I said, just single cane jump to the right and then double jump out of it and press circle. And you should get it every time. What I like to do here is when I'm holding to the right, once I do my cane jump, I like to move to the up position. So I go right and then to up. So I kind of curve my analog stick. So I like to go hold right and then hold up right about here. So like right when you're about to press circle, you want to change from right to up. And like I said, it's very, very free. This trick is so easy to do. Everyone can do this. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys, I'm not going to show you guys how to do Clockwerk Jump. I'm not going to explain it. By now everyone should know how to do it. It's literally just a double jump and mass circle. But I am going to show you a new thing that we found. It allows you to do double the damage while hitting Clockwerk's head. So I'm sure you guys know how to do Clockwerk Jump by now. But what you can do when you're here is if you tap forward like this, like I'm doing right now, just barely tap forward while you're swinging your cane into Clockwerk, you can do double the damage. So I'll show you guys that now. So here's the normal hit, and here's the double hit. As you can see, I do double the damage if you're tapping forward on the D-pad or tapping forward on your analog stick while you're doing the while you're hitting Clockwerk. So if you tap forward every time you hit, you should do a double hit, we call it. Basically what it does is it allows you to kill Clockwerk twice as fast in the final phase. So it does save a few seconds. Like I said, I'm not going to show you guys how to do Clockwerk Jump. I'm sure most of you guys know that by now. But yeah, you can double hit Clockwerk. I'm not sure how many people actually knew about that. It's more of a recent discovery. It does save a little bit of time. It is kind of risky though. So be careful not to get proxied off of Monkshot's head or Clockwerk's head while doing that. But yeah, just try not to get proxied off of Clockwerk's head while you're doing that trick. I've seen a few people go for the double hits now and get proxied off of his head into the lava, so be very careful doing the double hit. But it does double the speed at which you can split in that phase. So it does save a few seconds. It's definitely worth doing. Yeah, I want to thank every one of you guys for watching. I put a lot of time into this. It was my very first tutorial I ever made on this game. So I hope it does manage to help some of you guys out. I know I'm not the best at explaining things. So if I did miss anything or you guys misunderstood me in any way, please leave a comment and I'd be happy to try to explain it in a different way. I might even make another video if anyone needs it. If there's something that I missed or if there's anything that you guys think I should go over in more detail, please let me know. I'd be happy to add something to this tutorial. But for now, I hope this tutorial helps you guys out. Like I said, it was my first ever attempt at a tutorial. So I'd like to think I did a decent job. I definitely could have done better. But I do appreciate all you guys watching. I hope this helps you guys out and helps you learn some of the more advanced tricks for any percent and all keys. I hope you can learn how to replicate some of the strats and the setups that I did in this tutorial. But like I said, if you have any questions, you can message me on Discord. I'm going to have a ton of links in the description below for other videos you can refer to. A few of the videos are going to be Zenthro's tutorials because he has made some very good tutorials in the past. I'm going to link those in the description, and I'll also link the Discord along with my live stream. So if you guys have any questions, you can come over there and ask me when I'm live, or you can ask me in the Discord. But without further ado, I know this video is getting pretty long, so I don't want to drag it out any longer. Appreciate all you guys watching. Thank you guys all for coming out to the channel. I hope this helps you out, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.